Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It has been a summer break for us as well, unfortunately. So we had planned on meeting up earlier in the month of August, but today's August 22nd. It's race week finally once again. The month-long summer break is now over.
Race week.
And yes, so excited to be race week. And I'm Sean Thompson, your host, along with the dynamic duo of Dennis Tresca and Aaron Patterson. It's great to be back, guys. Good to see
We're
you again.
dynamic.
We're back.
Yes.
Break's
Yeah,
over.
So, just happy to be back to race week. It's the home race for Max Verstappen this weekend in the Netherlands at Zandvoort, and should be an interesting race to for sure going into this again. So, we've got a lot of teams coming in with new upgrades for their cars. McLaren going to be one big one. Most reports that just came out as of today really saying that they're really hoping to be competing with Verstappen and challenging for the top 1-2 spots again this week.
I like it.
And Mercedes and Ferrari along the same lines as well. So I think we're back into a 4-team foray at the top of the pack here with Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari, the usual suspects, especially with those. McLaren had been out of the game for a few years there. But now being back in the game, it's really, really nice to have them 4 teams and really, really challenging for Verstappen. And I think that, again, is case in point is we've had multiple different race winners for multiple teams this year, which is great. So overall, the summer break I didn't think was terribly remarkable. I think a lot of the big news with driver signings kind of happened right at the outset of the summer break with Sainz signing at Williams, which I was kind of shocked by. I thought
think
he
we
would have
all
a
were.
bigger splash. Yeah, I thought I saw him going to Alpine for sure, but who knows? It seems like there's a lot of investment. I know there's a lot of private equity money in the Williams team now, and I think they're wanting to see a much improved product. So, do you guys see this pushing Williams next year into the midfield? Are they going to be more of a middle of the pack team versus a bringing up the rear type of situation?
I mean, I can see it, right? I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like they're making all the right moves to get there.
It depends on their car, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Always, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And their car always seems super quick. It's just,
yeah.
They've had Logan that's made some mistakes. He's made mistakes this year. He's put the car into the wall a bunch of times.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately. But they're going to have a strong team with Sainz and with Albon next year. So it's just a matter of can they have, like you guys said, a strong car, which they should have. I mean, they've got the money, they've got the tech, they've got a good team principal too with Vowles. I mean, he's a good team principal. So it should be, I could see them being for sure in the midfield. I think they could be challenging for those mid spots, lower parts of the top 10 overall, but I think they got a lot of work to do as well. So
they must have set something in the signs, right, to make him believe that they can do something.
Right.
So
I don't know, but do you guys see it as a mistake that he didn't take the Audi seat?
This is right back to our old argument, right? I don't. That's hard,
right?
Because that
what are they going to put out there? Would he spin his wheels for, no pun intended,
all right,
2 years? And obviously he wants to be competitive, so
sure.
And that's exactly it, right?
Yeah, right. So I don't know. I kind of agree. I think the Audi name is something, but it's going to be a few years before they're really, I think, up to par. They're kind of playing behind the 8 ball. However, I will say they have 2 years off the track to kind of get their stuff together, and they're hiring all the right people and in the higher echelon of their leadership group. They're hiring the right people. They are hiring lots and lots of people with really good success in the sport. And so I could see them being somewhat competitive. I'm not saying that they're going to win the world championship in year 2, for instance.
Can't be any worse than what they're doing right now, though.
Correct. So I would not be shocked at all if you're looking at year 2, year 3, they're starting to compete for those midfield spots and those types of things, because they've got the money, they've got the technology, and Audi has a long-standing history of winning races and having really strong race cars. I mean, they dominated hypercar in the 90s. I mean, they were the team to beat. And so I do not see them struggling, and they're not going to come into this like to be in the mid-fat. They want to be winning races. They want to be winning world championships, but I can see where Sainz probably doesn't want to wait around for that. So that's totally,
which is what we talked about.
Totally understandable. Right. So
it wasn't about
the
money.
big question,
everybody was throwing money at him.
Right. Yeah. Because if he wanted money, I'm sure Alpine could have probably thrown more money at him, but it's Alpine too. And so, so who knows?
He wanted the right combination of money and performance.
Right. So with that said, who takes the second seat at Kick Sauber / Audi? So they've got Hülkenberg. Are they going to stick in the country? Are they going to hire and get another German driver?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if, everything's the way it's gone, that Valtteri goes back for like a 1-year deal.
It's my hope.
There have been advertisements with him standing next to an Audi with the 77 on the side.
Man.
They have invested so much with him in marketing. Like,
I feel like they love him, right? Like his fan base is huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just to get him through that.
You can make a little noise. It's okay. You don't have to tiptoe around the house. Okay.
We are Rad Dad Network for a reason.
It's on mic. You have to make a ton of noise for the microphone to pick it up. Just don't be like yelling and screaming. But you don't have
to break any windows.
Tiptoe around
throw stuff at your dad.
Don't run the garbage disposal.
Or throw stuff at him. It'll be good for the viewers.
Yeah.
We could make a short out of it.
Yeah, it's Eliza. So, but if you're gonna do something, just tell me and I can mute myself quick and make these two talk. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, man.
So back to it.
I think Valtteri comes back unless they can get.
I can see it.
A young, but I don't know if that's the direction they want to go quite yet.
Right.
And
I have seen Mick Schumacher's name thrown around as well, and he's
still hanging around. He's
probably one of the most legendary drivers in Formula One. He's been the reserve driver at Mercedes for a couple years. He was not a bad driver at Audi. He was, at Haas, but he was kind of the Logan Sargent of the years that he was driving. He just made a lot of mistakes, and he cost a team that couldn't afford a lot of mistakes a lot of money, unfortunately. So he's a good driver. So I wouldn't be shocked at all with Schumacher possibly in that spot. I kind of see them sticking with Valtteri. I think he sticks around. So
that seems like the logical choice, right?
Right. I think he'll mesh well with Hülkenberg, and I think they give him. It's probably going to be a year-by-year kind of contract for Valtteri. So we'll kind of
because they're going to want to see how the car performs, right? Like,
right.
We're going to put that first one out there. We want to see how that performs before we decide to get into any long-term deals.
Right.
So Valtteri makes a ton of sense.
Yes.
I like that. Right. And it's
year
stable.
by
year. He's been driving for years on F1, so
he can keep the social stuff going sense. And
get
everyone following the team, right?
I mean,
and it seems like he's an easy guy to work with.
That's
and
the best part of
a good
him.
teammate. So, right. So, other things that I kind of again, just still talking about drivers. The V-Carb team, I think, is still up in the air as well. They haven't committed to. They've committed to Tsunoda. They have not committed to Ricciardo. I really think that this team and the Red Bull team in general is missing out on a huge opportunity with Liam Lawson.
Correct.
If they don't sign him, someone else is going to.
I love Danny Rick, man, but his time's up.
Right.
Come on.
Right. And so they got to be looking longer term for the future kind of stuff here. Lawson is that guy. He's a good driver. When he's filled in for that spot, he has performed.
He's done great.
He's done a really good job. And I feel like if they keep dragging this out, they're going to miss out on him. And I think they're going to be really, really sad about it. Now, I did see some reporting today, Helmut Marko saying that Lawson will be in either a Red Bull car or a V-Carb car next year. So
Put him next to Sonoda.
whether that's true or not, because I think Marco's also been tied to every single team in Formula One for the next year,
Right.
and he hasn't said anything either. So it's really hard to say. So, but I think letting Lawson just go is a massive mistake by that team. I think they got to make a decision here at some point in time. So who knows?
With that, if Valtteri happens to go to like Mercedes for some reason, then I could see Danny Rick going to Sauber.
Possibly.
Well,
if they want to go that route, because again, that's just an aging driver that hasn't performed.
He just hasn't.
So
and he's got a better car this year.
He does. Yeah. So and Tsunoda's performed well in that car, and Danny Rick has at times. Now he has shown glimpses of his former self,
but he's not consistent, right?
Exactly.
Needs
and
to
that's
show
the thing that I think teams are looking for. So but
we're talking
just to kind of round out the
not necessarily Mercedes, but like the bottom of it. Like if somebody takes Valtteri away, I could definitely see Danny Rick going to kick Sauber.
Totally agree with that.
And then to round out,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dennis.
It goes back to what you were saying about Valtteri, right? Like people love him, and that there's something to say, like getting that driver that all the fans follow. That's Ricardo. That's probably why
that's why Danny
around.
Rick. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why Danny Ricciardo's been in the spot he's been in this year, is because people love him.
There's money there.
Yep.
Right.
Clicks.
Exactly. So
selling stuff. Yep.
Right. So
he can probably get 1,000 subscribers.
Probably. Hopefully we'll get there. Who knows?
We will. Yeah.
He would be able to beat us to it for sure.
Like in 30 minutes.
Do that in like 10 minutes. Yeah. So, and to kind of round out the whole driver signings for the summer break, Jack Doohan did sign for the Alpine seat, so he's going to be teamed up there with Pierre Gasly, which I think is a great move. I think they would have been, again, he was kind of the Liam Lawson of Alpine. He had been their reserve driver for a few years now. He is a solid driver. The times that he's filled in for free practice and those types of things, he's performed well as well. Yeah. And so I think that's a great signing by that team as well. So Alpine might be a team to kind of contend with. Now, I think it depends upon their team principle going forward as well. Because again, this is a team that has a lot of investment, and I'm certain that they're wanting to see a lot more improvement in results with the money that is being invested into that team by multiple American actors, athletes,
celebrities,
and it's not just American, it's European, and I mean they're all over the world. So
and the thing
celebrities,
that kind of takes the pressure off of them is that they obviously have the American jobs where they can go make movies and make their money. So this could be, I don't know if it is, but it could be funny money that they're putting in to try to get a good return out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
They may not give two shits about it.
Right. And so who knows? But they've got the money, and Mercedes will be the engine supplier for Alpine next year. They are officially ditching the Renault engine.
Yeah.
Good.
Which Renault has had a huge falling out over the years. They were the supplier of Red Bull engines.
Yeah.
And then they dumped them and went to Honda, and then they started winning world championships. So maybe it's the Renault engine and the power unit that's the problem. Who knows? I don't know. But
bring on Gunther Steiner as the team principal, and let's go.
There you go. Yeah.
Let's
do it. So
I'm just thinking celebrity name, right?
Yeah.
He'd fit perfect.
And then last but not least, the last seat still available, and I'll put this in quotation marks because there's been multiple reports that Antonelli is going to be the driver at Mercedes to fill that second seat. It seems like the possibility of Max going to Mercedes is not happening. Like he's staying at Red Bull, which makes sense. I mean,
he's not.
He is that team, and so, but Antonelli is going to be the driver. It sounds like that's going to be announced in September, following or the same weekend as the Italian Grand Prix. Now, why they've picked that weekend, I have no idea. But Antonelli is driving the Mercedes at free practice 1 tomorrow morning, or I guess it'd be in the afternoon in the Netherlands. But he is driving the Mercedes car around for free practice 1 tomorrow for Mercedes. So
nice.
So we'll see. So it seems like all the teams have their 2025 driver lineups in place,
except for like
still more to come
2.
with a few teams.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it sounds like everyone else is pretty solid and ready to
2
go.
2 of the teams are nobody, like they're not going to make waves. So who cares?
Right. So, and then, I think I've seen rumors, and I can't believe that they'd make another late season replacement. Is Perez's job still at risk here? If he doesn't perform, is this where Liam Lawson is then inserted into the mix? And they're like, right. And I guess I'm wondering
he's on short leash.
What are the parameters in his contract for performance? Like, what are they expecting him to do?
Well, I thought it was out there that he had to finish within 100 points on max. Wasn't that part of the deal?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
He's not close to that.
That's
right
not
now.
Gonna happen.
No. And I know I made that last race before the break. I made that. My bold prediction was he'd lose his feet after that. I was wrong. They said they were going to stay committed to him. Did they say for the rest of the season? I don't remember.
The rest of the season.
They did say the rest of the season, which again, like your point earlier, does that really mean anything? Everyone says things, but it's F1. So
that team is so cutthroat.
Yeah.
I could see them being like
volatile.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't doubt it if he lost his seat, but let's see what he does. Maybe.
Yeah.
He found
something. I could see like they're probably expecting no more DNFs, and he needs to finish in the top 10 every race for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and this is where it has gone, where we thought he was going to be done for so long, and he hasn't.
Right.
So
he's
probably going to finish the season on the team, and then they're going to cut ties.
Yeah,
and
that's what I see happening.
Yeah, he's a good teammate for Verstappen. He does what needs to be done, and he stays out of Max's way for the most part.
And if he gets cut, where does he go?
Right. But you're right, Sean, but he's also costing them constructor points, and McLaren is nipping at the heels, right?
And he's costing them a ton of money because he's wrecked that car a lot. I think he's like in the top 2 or 3 for cost of money because of wrecks.
Yep.
Through the year, he might be the number 1. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's up there. So
wow. I wouldn't doubt
it's in the millions of dollars ranges for the amount of damage he's costed the car this year.
Well, here's my thing, and this might be part of my bold prediction. I'm going on the fly here. He went home to the motherland, got some Mexican strange, and he's ready to go. He's going to come back, and the old Perez will be back.
Who knows?
Hey,
maybe.
We lost Aaron there for a second.
Yeah, nope. There was a bug or something I was taking. Anyway,
that's awesome.
I'll add that to my bold prediction later. So
there you go. Yeah, Perez, Mexican strange, race win. Is that all it takes?
I don't know. Work for Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Cocktail waitresses
in Mexico.
The same point.
Oh yeah, Mexico, Perkins.
So it doesn't have to be Mexico. Just strange.
Strange is the key, there, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. So anyway,
I don't even know. That's horrible.
He's married.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry.
Isn't he like 7 kids?
I don't think he's got 7 kids.
I don't know.
5. He's got a few kids.
Does he? I don't know. Not sure. But like we said at the onset of the show, it's race week, thankfully. And so
race week.
We've got the Dutch Grand Prix coming up this weekend. They are at Zandvoort in the Netherlands. So obviously the home race for Max Verstappen.
Which has some pretty tight corners I was looking at.
It does, yeah. And it's got one of the higher banked turns too that they gotta go around. It's a pretty high banked
real
left-hander. Yeah, and so a very challenging course, very fast course overall, and usually weather can play a factor. It's right on the water there, so they can have quite a bit of wind. not uncommon to have rain from time to time as well. So could be interesting. I've not seen the weather forecast. It'd be nice to have some weather kind of involved again. It seems like those races have all been very, very entertaining. But back to racing, and I can really see McLaren and Mercedes keeping up kind of and just picking up where they left off before the summer break at the last race at Spa.
Yeah.
And so I think they're going to be competing and pushing Red Bull, in particular Max Verstappen, for the rest of the year, which I think is great. It's going to really challenge them because and I think that they have caught up in the realm of the car. Now it's just overcoming the driver that is Max Verstappen, and he has just been, gangbusters for years now. But, I think if Piastri and Norris fix up and correct the little mistakes that they make here and there, they're going to really be pushing for those top two for podium spots each and every race, I think, for the rest of the year. Now, Mercedes is the same way. Hamilton's on a mission. Russell's on a mission. They've been up competing for the podium spots as well. And then you have Ferrari kind of lingering, just doing their Ferrari thing.
Yeah.
Just hanging back.
On the outside there.
Yeah. Making mistakes, doing weird things with tire, strategy and those types of things. But, where do we kind of see this ending up the same way with Max kind of finishing out the year strong? Or do we see one of the McLaren or Mercedes drivers kind of coming up and catching him in some way, shape, or form? Now, maybe not for the Drivers' Championship. I don't know. I think he's still pretty far ahead, but they'd have to have some pretty catastrophic races.
For constructors,
but constructors, I think those two teams in particular are right in the mix.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the wire between McLaren and Red Bull. You got two strong McLaren drivers. You got one really strong Red Bull driver.
Right.
Now we're going to go to the finish line at the end and see who can.
Yeah, and again, Perez is the wild card there, right? Is he will he finish strong and get them back?
He's either going to do really well or he's not going to finish.
And if he doesn't, if he keeps doing what he's doing, then McLaren's going to catch him because both of those drivers are racing out of their minds right now.
Which is how I see it going. And I think McLaren overtakes Red Bull at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think so too. And it'll be interesting to see what the dynamic of McLaren is going forward with having two top tier drivers. I think it's going to be a problem.
It's not going to.
It's a good problem to have
for now.
It is.
Yeah, for now.
Until one of them decides, like, I don't like playing nice anymore.
I was going to say it never works out in the long run, right?
Yeah. Nico Rosberg.
We already started seeing it.
But yeah, I think Lando's going to be the one that says, "Go F yourself. I'm out."
Yeah. Piastri seems like he's too nice, but who knows?
He's new for now.
He's new.
Right.
He could change. Now. Yeah. Right. So
Lando used to
win
like
a lot of races, and So, but we'll see. Hopefully, they're going to be chums and get along, and it'll be like, oh, it's your turn to win this week. Like, you go for it. I'm like, okay, thank you.
But as a McLaren fan, this is where you just gotta love it. Like,
just run with it.
It's a good fun to have
and enjoy it. And
I mean, compared to where
blows up.
they were this time last year,
right?
It is night and day. Like, it is night and day because at the start of 2023, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the longest year ever. They're never going to finish in the top 10. Like, they're terrible. This car sucks. And then around this time last year, it's like, oh, okay. They're actually kind of catching on. They're making good changes. They're starting to race better. The car's quick. And they were really pushing for, you had Lawson winning the sprint racing Cutter. And then they almost, won that race. They finished behind Sainz, I think, in Singapore when they had Russell kind of crash out in the final lap. They were pushing. So it's nice to see. And then, when we were in Austin, Lando was leading. Lando was winning the race. So I think it's just they have to find that spot where they're winning, they're leading, and now they just need to maintain it. And that's where I think Red Bull has everyone beat right now. That's they're used to doing it. Then they have the strategy. They know what to do when they get to a certain point in the race, and then they perform and they do it.
Two guys know their role, and they do it to the best of their ability.
Yep.
Right. And I think the strategy and the strategists for McLaren have screwed Piastri and Lando numerous times this year with races, with their pit strategy and with their tire strategy. I mean, they have lost them races this year. So they start figuring that out. I think they're going to be more consistent, and I think they're going to be fighting for wins week in and week out. So it's going to be pretty exciting, I think, for the rest of the year going forward. But again, I cannot rule. Yeah, you cannot rule out McLaren or Mercedes for that matter. I think Mercedes is really going to push hard.
They're hot right now as well.
Yeah, and Ferrari is always there. I think they have two solid drivers. They have a good car, and so who knows?
Sorry about that. So, I was just gonna say one thing I just noticed was in all this going on into the break, 4 straight races Max hasn't won, but no one has really gained on him because everyone took turns winning. So it's crazy.
Right. He's been
in a really good spot,
like right there.
Yeah. He's always in the top 10. He's usually in the top 5 at least. So
right. So interesting.
I don't know. We'll see. So going with the race this week, obviously I'm certain that Max is going to be the favorite, but other storylines or anything else that you guys are kind of looking for this week going into the race?
I mean, I'm just curious to see how everyone comes back from the break. Is there going to be a big change in like the power dynamics of what we've all just been talking about, or is it just going to be exactly what we're seeing?
I'm kind of looking at the back of the pack. Like, what have some of those teams down at the bottom done to make themselves better? Like, what did Kick Sauber do? What did Alpine do?
Fan.
Like, what?
Sorry, it was there. You know I love you.
What did these guys do to kind of bring that gap a little closer? So, are we going to see a potential, like, could Sauber score their first points?
Yeah.
Am I foreshadowing something with my bold prediction? I don't know.
Who knows? So, no, I'm the same way. I want to see what those midfield teams are doing.
Yeah.
In particular, Aston. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, they're just kind of there.
Yeah. It's like they're hyped up at the beginning of each and every year. Like, oh, we're faster. Oh, we're better. Oh, we've put all this money into it. Oh, we're going to be so much better. I'm here to win championships. And it's well, it's the same. We're still in the middle. Well, whatever. Yep. I'm in the wall. What do you want me to do? I'm in the fucking wall. So
I'm gonna go for a stroll.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in the fucking wall.
I think,
but
maybe he shouldn't have a seat. But
but I'm just excited to see racing finally again. I think the dynamics and the structure is going to be fairly similar to what it was before the break. I think you're going to have the 4 same top teams that we've been talking about.
There's not going to be much change.
Probably
I don't think so. Yeah. And so
if there is, then shit, like awesome.
That's great.
This is good for the sport.
Right. So, do I see Logan Sargent all of a sudden going gangbuster? No, it's probably not going to happen.
Wins the final 10 races before he goes to Indy. Just why not?
That would be a bold
just start
prediction.
Taking people out, like screw it, whatever. I don't know. Yeah. But who knows? So, but I don't see much in the way of change, unfortunately. So, but we'll see. But I think McLaren, Red Bull, and Mercedes will be the 3 top teams going in for the rest of the year. And I think the drivers, or not the drivers, but the constructors is going to come down to one of those 3 teams. So,
agreed.
Because they seem to be on the right track here. So, qualifying. What are you guys thinking for qualifying? Who are your top 3?
I didn't think too much about qualifying. I went everywhere else. God, I obviously Verstappen kind of stands out. I think he's going to be their top 3, probably 1, 2.
Probably.
I see McLaren's probably going to be up there. Obviously, Mercedes. I would say if I'm throwing it out there, and this is like on the fly, I would say Verstappen 1. I would be crazy enough to say that Hamilton would go 2, and then probably Piastri 3.
Okay. Pretty solid.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dennis?
I think it's going to be Max P1, and then it's going to be Lando Piastri. They're going to round out 2 and 3. Yep.
Yeah. Like it. Be useful. So I'm going to go, again, total homer. Lando Norris 1.
Valtteri. Oh, wrong homer.
Oh, not Valtteri.
We're going backwards.
It's
going to be a close. Yeah, it's going to be a very close 1-2. But I see Piastri 1, Verstappen 2, and I'm going to say Leclerc 3. I'm going to throw Ferrari into the mix. So,
Piat. Did you say Piastri 1?
No, Norris 1. Maybe I did. I don't know, but I meant to say if I did, I meant Lando first.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Max 2nd, and I'm going to go Leclerc 3rd. So
it's interesting.
Ferrari always seems to qualify well, and then the wheels fall off. So
yeah,
who knows?
And there might
podium.
be weather this weekend.
Interesting
guys.
with the podium. We get to meet with the podium.
All right. So race predictions. Who do you got?
Podium. I got Verstappen 1. I got Piastri 2, and I got Leclerc 3.
Okay. Nice. Just got Hamilton dropping out of there, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Probably some tire thing that they do, or who knows.
Yeah.
Mercedes seems to be like on the verge, and then they do some crazy shit with
some stupid strategy,
or something will come up where they
gas and
right.
And doesn't hurt their tires and they win.
Right.
Okay, so I would say I think Max is going to win this home race. I think Piastri is going to be P2, and then for my bold prediction, just to round it all out, Perez is going to get the podium.
Wow.
Because he went home. He did not get strange, but he got some loving from Mama. And he's good now. And he's going to show everyone he's still an awesome driver.
All right. That is quite bold.
That is very
I like it. I like it.
But it's a bold prediction.
So, yeah. No, and I have a hard time not thinking Max is going to win because he hasn't won in 4 races. But the other teams have caught up to him. Yeah, I mean, you can't hold him from winning for too long. I think
if you're a betting
this is a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Dancing with the Odds betting man. Like,
right. Yeah.
And you gotta go with the guy, right?
Yeah.
You go with Verstappen.
Yeah. So I'm sticking with my pole winner. He's gonna win the race. Lando's gonna win. I see probably George Russell finishing 2nd, moving his way up. I think Russell starts 5th, and I think he moves his way up. And then I see Verstappen finishing 3rd. So he'll still finish on the podium.
He's still getting some good points there.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to come down to pit stops and strategy again. And I will say that the Mercedes team, I mean, they pulled off a huge strategic accomplishment at Spa with Russell. I mean, that was a one-stop race. That was pretty incredible. So, but we'll see what happens.
Underweight.
It should be a fun race. Yeah, it should be a fun race, and we'll see what happens. I think a lot will depend on the weather. I think a lot will depend on, wind and all those types of things. It's quite windy at that track from time to time. So there's a lot of things that
there is rain in the forecast.
Did you have a lot of unknowns.
A bold prediction?
Oh, bold prediction.
Yeah. I still got one too.
So it was the wind. His bold prediction was wind.
It's gonna be windy.
I am going to say both Haas's in the top 10.
Oh,
okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Haas finished 9th and 10th.
Not out of the realm of possibility there.
Yeah.
But you never know. So
mine's not quite as bold. I think Sergio does not finish.
Oh.
And then he's fired.
Sauber scores their first points.
There's the bold part of it. There's the bold part.
Well, I thought Sergio not finishing would be.
Yeah. But I like the two-parter there. That's good.
Yeah, that was what made it bold. Because I thought, I was like, I could see Perez not finishing.
Right.
Well.
And then I was like, is that really bold?
You're right. Didn't Sean say he's like wrecked the most this year?
Right. So then I was like,
you might go to NASCAR next with this kind of record.
Yeah, you can just run into the wall and win the race still and be like, oh, time to win.
What you want.
With the time off, maybe Sauber's done something. So I would go for Valtteri scoring points and Perez not finishing.
I think we'd all be happy to see that.
I would love it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm just looking up the actual cost. So Sergio Perez is at the top of the list. With $2.8 million in
more money than I'll ever see in my life
to the car. Yeah. So that's cool. That's fun.
Wrecked. He has thrown that out like flushed it down the toilet. So, 2.8 million.
Mama took care of him. He's done with all that. He's done with all that.
He got some strange. Yeah, I get it.
No. I walked back those comments.
Maybe he did.
I'm sorry.
Was like,
he's a married man.
You're like,
he just.
Like, we're gonna have a couple friends come over too. It'd be great. It'd be kind of weird, but okay. Anyway, well, that's the show.
Awesome.
Our predictions. We've got
can't wait to watch it.
It's good to be back. It's hard to believe it's been a month, which is crazy, but
brutal.
Again, if you are
left,
well, we got. I think they race into December this year, so that's
10 left.
Really,
right?
we still got. I think we still got 3 months of racing left, which is
about halfway through.
So, some of my favorite races are still upcoming. So obviously the last 2 American races in Austin and Vegas are always a blast to watch.
Can't wait.
Singapore is always a great race. Italy, we still have an Italian race to go. Brazil is always one of my favorites. That's also in November. I mean, there's just tons of good races still to come. So, so if you have been listening and following us again, we appreciate it. Thank you. We are now on, I think, all of the socials officially. We just launched our Threads page last week. We've got some great followers thus far, and we're going to be sure to post our links to our podcasts on there as well. So if you like the show, drop us a follow, hit subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and like I said before, now we are on Threads. So we are everywhere that you get your information, podcasts, whatever you be. So we try to stay up to date on posts as best we can, but we do have other jobs.
We got lives.
We saw earlier kids.
Yeah. So yeah. So we got lots going on. So we do try to get this done each and every week. And if we don't make it, we'll try to input it either with a short video or just kind of a quick update. But thank you again for listening. Thank you again for subscribing and liking. Drop us a comment. We love chatting with y'all. And
follow. Subscribe.
Follow us. Yep. And again, just thanks to Dennis and Aaron. It's always a pleasure. It's always fun.
Thank you.
And just looking to wrap up the rest of the year here. So should be fun.
Let's go.
And we'll we'll see everyone and talk with everyone after the race in the Netherlands this week. So
watch
everyone.
for some rapid reactions. We might have some crazy stuff that pops up on YouTube or
might be a Roomba with knives on it. We'll see. Who knows?
Never know. We'll see what happens.
We're crazy. We do things wild like
so should be fun. All right. Thanks everyone.
Thanks.